Hey, G23, how goes it? Coming in where we left off earlier. Hopefully, I don't get another call like that again, but hey, at least it's overtime. Don't shoot. This is a peaceful protest. I think I saw them lighting cars and Jeeps on fire and stuff, so I mean, you know, whatever your definition of peace. Oh, hey, look, they cut through a fence. Wild. I believe I saw they were also activating the National Guard in Texas and Nebraska for similar protests. Nothing really happened here with that whole No Kings thing. Well, they break that dude's legs, he just can't walk. Is that like fully semi-automatic? Yeah. Hmm. It's funny that they talk all kinds of shit and stuff about the National Guard and the Marines that are there, and some of them try to turn this on the other side, and they'll say things, against the current administration, or they'll say things, whatever politically. And I just think about this, over the last 20 years, from the time I spent in the army and friends and family and whatnot, that they didn't care about the military then when they needed assistance with housing, when the barracks were all messed up, health care, mental care, recovery, transitioning to civilian life. Nobody cared then, but now they care because there's political means to it. And I pissed a few people off when I said, that's the only reason they care. They care because they hate Trump right now, or they hate Republicans, or they hate whatever political avenue is going on. And I just said, you'll go back to abandoning veterans and service members right after that's over. So I don't know why you're pretending right now. Let the 2-7 have some fun. You can't let the Marines have too much fun. Things start to get weird. Now, the military is doing a great job. The Marines that are there, the National Guard, they, I'm not seeing any issues of abuse. They're being accused of a lot of shit, violating their oath to the Constitution, violating, you know, immoral, or they're taking immoral orders or unlawful orders, and nothing they've done so far is unlawful, immoral, violates the Constitution. I think they're doing a good job in a crappy situation. Oh yeah, I mean, to be fair, 29 Palms makes everyone weird. It's like every soldier stationed at Fort Irwin, or what is that, Fort Polk, JRTC. Life's just weird there. I will give some criticism to some of the cops who domed some people with rubber bullets. Now, either they aimed and did that shit on purpose, or they can't aim and they did it on accident. Which actually, since I know a few cops, and I won't get into which departments, but they even complain about how little they get to do firearms training. They'll do annual, and if they're lucky, if their department has the funding, they might even do quarterly quals. But usually, it's just an annual 1 year qual. Go to the range, shoot your service pistol, and they don't do clear rooms. They don't do a whole lot of mount training. So like military operations in urban terrain, they don't do anything similar to that. Um, no running courses like you might see at some gun competitions where maybe the officer's got to run, so many yards and then engage a target or assess a situation, to simulate a chase. The Army is doing some stuff like that now with their new rifle qual that they started a couple of years ago. So you have a bit more transition, while you're moving up and down a wall, while you go from prone to standing, or rather standing down to prone and then back up. And they're trying to simulate more and more realistic movements, but a lot of departments just don't have the funding. They need the money. They've got to be able to take officers off the street, put them in a training environment. I've seen so many cops complain about it that they need more. Some older cops too, that they complain that newer cops, and obviously, being rookies and younger, that they don't have enough weapons familiarization beyond their department issued pistol. So they come into contact with something on the street. I was talking with one. He said one of their younger cops almost shot himself or his partner because he wasn't familiar with how a revolver operated, and he was trying to figure out how to open the revolver, and it was cocked. He was trying to figure out how to decock it, open it, remove the ammunition, and make sure the weapon's safe and secure. And because he didn't know what he was doing, he'd never encountered a revolver before. He actually discharged a weapon and fired a round into the ground, and it was close to him, obviously himself, but also his partner. And the officer I was talking to, I think he's retiring next year, but he was just like, we need more familiarization classes just to pick up and handle different types of weapons. And I remember we had that in the army where, you might have your issued M4, right? Maybe your M9, and then later to the M17. But and then of course everyone got some time on the 249, the 240, the M2, maybe the M203 and the M320, for machine guns, grenade launchers. But then they'd also try and do some familiarization with other stuff, especially depending on the unit. You know, so maybe you get some familiarization as to what, if you're planning on deploying to the Middle East, the AK or other regions of the world. And then of course weapon systems you might not normally use, um, that the Army also has. Maybe the M107, the Mark 19, AT4, just to get you more familiarization. And I'd have to agree that, if you're going to work on the streets as a police officer, you should probably have more experience with random crap that you might come into contact with, even if that's all just like, what is that, H&R, one of those old revolvers, break action. They haven't made them in years, with a 32 caliber. I'm sure if the one cop was struggling with a regular double action revolver, he definitely struggled with a break action or a single action, definitely. Yeah, he might. President Trump might declare them insurgents. I'm not sure how that's going to go. There's a really fine balance between the right to protest, speak your mind. And, I mean, if you want to tell the government to fuck off all day long, you want to tell the president to go fuck himself. Hey, I'm down. But there's a balance between that and then burning buildings and lighting people's cars on fire and looting stores and then hurting people towards the protest. Like you can go say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But I also don't fully blame any business that decides to go rooftop Korean. Yeah, yeah, same. I used to do that a lot. Different pawn shops, go out and check out and see what they have. That's how I've gotten some of the firearms I've gotten over the years. I got an old Springfield 1903 Lee Enfield, a Mosin Nagant, and I got to put my hands on quite a few really old guns that I never would have seen otherwise without checking out mom and pop gun shops. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't blame any business or any person who has to defend themselves for all this bullshit going on. Yeah, like this guy here on the comments, he's like, "It's supposed to be America. If we want to make noise, make noise. By all means, be as loud as you want, but stop trashing people's businesses. Stop setting cars on fire. Stop attacking people. Stop blocking the goddamn road." Like I know some of these people are getting paid because I couldn't take this much time off of work. Most people can't take this much time off of work to just fuck around in a city doing nothing all damn day long. We all got bills to pay. Nice. I will say this: no one has ever made me want to get an AK-47 more than anti-gunners. I never really wanted one. Now I want to buy one because they say I shouldn't have one. Yeah, we got habits to afford. Yeah, our shop runs 7 days a week. We can't afford to shut it down to go protest and do this shit. I don't understand how many people have this much time off. And that's what I left earlier for. The earlier live, I had to leave to go handle something for work. Now, see this right here. If you look, uh, freaking ad. So this right there, if you see the officers have different colors for their non-lethal weapons, but you still identify that as a weapon. And so, with Michigan trying to pass their laws to say, stuff like this can't be legal, or this, I think that's bullshit. It also straight up just sounds like some FUD stuff where, oh, you can only have black and stainless and flat dark earth and forest green and camo. Yeah, people can have whatever the hell they want to have. Speaking of red, white, and blue slides, we are doing 15% off come July 4th through the 3rd and the 6th. So we'll be doing 15% off USMC red, Arctic white, and NRA blue on all those strip slides. Hey, not a sponsor. Welcome. just watching some of this writing stuff, touching up from the live from earlier that got interrupted. I got to see if FB Ordnance was serious about that Glock 34 to 17 swap, because I know some of you have seen these before, where we're swapping out people's busted up stuff or stuff they just don't like for one of ours. Can't do it for everybody, case by case, but might be able to help a few people out. How do all these people not have jobs? That's the biggest thing for me. Like this huge crowd. I get it's a Sunday, but they're doing this on weekdays too. Even a Sunday for us, we still got to go into the shop and handle some things. Mostly rightful protests. Yep. Of course, in an environment like this, you might check out Red Dawn Readiness and see what he recommends on some gas masks. You can get some military grade surplus, but there's definitely better stuff out there. Though the military ones, if the seals are good, if the filters are good, it will work. Tried and tested. So yeah, there's definitely better stuff out there, but it works. Yeah, that's true. I saw the Craigslist ads for paid rioters. I wonder what they do when they're not rioting. You know, I think I saw one where they were talking about how the protesters had gone into gang territory, and some of the gang members forced them out. Oh yeah, that CS gas sucks. I want to know more about that launcher. What millimeter is he using? Is that like a 37 millimeter flare that's just converted with like CS gas, or is that a 40 millimeter launcher? I know Flying Rich checked out or tried to check out protests going on in Florida in his area, but it looks like it had already ended for that No Kings rally or riot or whatever the heck it was. Diddy for president 2028. Yeah, no, hard pass. Peaceful protest. Yeah, that's real peaceful. Oh, this guy. Okay, so they're recycling footage. Oh yeah, one guy said it's pre-recorded from yesterday. Yeah, that makes sense. I saw a few of these where they were showing the California Army National Guard, and on the uniform patch you could see for the shoulder sleeve insignia, it was, or at least it appeared to be, from the 81st Striker Brigade, and they're a multi-state unit, the 81st Striker Brigade Combat Team, And so, like most combat teams with the National Guard, they are in multiple states. So the 81st is out of Washington, I think Oregon and California. And so they have a battalion to regimental level in California, and a lot of the National Guard footage was just of that one unit. And yeah, this is all recycled. They had kept showing those guys, and I'm like, California has more patches than just the 81st, so they were showing constant recycled footage of the same guard unit over and over again. Which that's something. I wonder if we should. I'll do a live someday with Red Dawn, but that's something you should be aware of just being in your own state. What units are in your state, and what do they look like? What is their shoulder sleeve insignia? What unit numbers do they utilize? As a good prepping and emergency situation. That way, when foreign units are in your. I shouldn't say foreign. When state or when units from other states or from maybe active duty or the reserves are in your state as opposed to the National Guard. If you're aware of what unit patches and insignias they use, what their numbers are, you could identify and say, hey, that's not normal. Like, for example, where I'm at, the Air Force always flew F 16s and A 10s, and you'd see them all the time. So when you had aircraft flying in your airspace that were not F 16s and A 10s, you knew it was some other unit visiting, or you knew that it was a foreign unit coming there to train, because foreign air forces love to train in Arizona. The skies are great here for it. And we host a foreign training program where Allied Air Force units can come here and train with our guys. So when you saw stuff that wasn't A-10s and F-16s, you're just like, oh, hey, is that from Northern Arizona, from the other base up there, or is that foreign, or is this an incoming unit from active duty? So everyone should know something about their state, about their state's National Guard, and also knowing what your local police departments look like. If you're in a metropolitan area, maybe you have multiple departments. You're going to have your main city police department, you're going to have township police departments, and you're going to have your county sheriffs along with your state troopers or highway patrol. You should know what they all look like, what their uniforms look like, what their badges look like. You should be able to identify these things in your area. Yeah, yeah, protesting on the sidewalk, perfectly fine. Letting people by. I saw some part where they were lighting dumpsters on fire and then pushing the dumpsters to areas to like block traffic and block the police from moving through. Smart tactic. Dumpsters will burn for a good long while if they're full. Not to mention, of course, they're metal, so burning them makes them hot as fuck. So moving them is going to be a pain. Interesting. That'd probably be a good improvised, somewhat mobile barrier. If you filled a dumpster with sand or sandbags and things like that, you've got a good mobile barrier to protect you from incoming rounds. I mean, it's gonna be heavy as hell, so you're gonna need a vehicle to move it. But hmm. We were looking at this earlier too, and you can get this through Delta Team Tactical right now. But SCT frame, so I'm betting SCT parts kit or lower, and of course Stiffler slide. That's the Viper. Looks to be red habanero with a Gideon optics optic, and so the barrel is most likely an ELD performance barrel, and the parts kit will also be SCTUPK. But that looks pretty good. And you should definitely check out Gideon Optics. Anyone who's watching, they've got a great optic. We have one of their Omega red dots. Runs great. Won't stop sharing. There we go. Oh, who's reaching out to us now? Okay, Polymer 80 Builders. Someone reached out to us about Got Damage. Yeah, he's going to be at GunCon. What is that, in 10 days? He's going to be on their panel. He did a review on one of our slides a little while back. Zanti, what's going on? We will attend GunCon in spirit. We are not going to be there physically. The next big, probably gun convention that we're going to do is SHOT Show 2026, which I imagine is still in Vegas. We did get to go there this year in January. We were there alongside MMC Armory. Cool event. Pretty cool event. A lot of stuff there. A lot of people to meet. I'd like to do some more. There's some local. There's like a gun show every month or two here. I'd love to put a table at one. Talk to some local people. What is there? There's also GOA goals. I think that's going on too. I think Crump said he was going to that. Dark won't go until he gets a spare tire. Yeah, we did get to see Crump at SHOT Show. We saw Jack of all trades. I talked to a lot of people with MMC Armory, Delta Team Tactical. Man, who else did we get to go talk to? There were so many people. I think Tactical Penguin we met through them. A lot of people went to SHOT Show. Goals and all. Yeah, we can't go to Tennessee. Too busy with the shop. There is some local stuff I'd really love to do. Yeah, what is it called? Crossroads of the West Gun Show in Phoenix and Tucson. I think they get some in Casa Grande too. Yeah, definitely get over there. Oh, what do we have? 2025 gun shows. Oh, actually, there's one going on in Glendale, Arizona right now. One in Casa Grande next month. One in Tucson in August. Glendale in August. Phoenix in August. Damn. Queen Creek in September. Chandler in September. I will not go to California for a gun show. October in Phoenix. Yeah, there's a lot of them coming up. October in Casa Grande. October in Tucson. October in Glendale. Jeez. Yeah, Glendale's all right to pass through. It's a little expensive there. I swear, if we ever do start up or get involved with an FFL or something in some kind of capacity, we are going to do a lot cheaper transfers than some people are doing now. Because there was a gun shop, where was it? $50 for an FFL transfer, and that is just ridiculous. Hell, $35 is too much, and people are doing that now. I just way too much for a gun transfer, in my opinion. Maybe there's other factors I'm not tracking, but it just seems way too expensive. I think you guys were all here earlier, but through Delta real quick. They've got a bunch of our stuff now, and some people have reached out and they have given us some crap. They're like, "Hey, didn't you know like Delta had a problem with this or Delta had a problem with that?" And I was like, "No, that's not our problem to deal with. Delta's actually really good to deal with for us, at least on our end." They did have issues with some other manufacturers who were not so great, from what I understand. Delta themselves have been pretty good, and so now our product's going through Delta. So, and that's something sometimes customers on that level don't understand is that just because a business sells something doesn't mean they are necessarily producing it, or that it's their product. So Delta did have, and not just them, multiple businesses that do distribution and work with vendors have had issues with subpar manufacturers. I remember a couple years back when we first started doing this, there was a lot of really subpar firing pins going out and around, and they were just absolutely garbage. That they would crack, they would chip, they'd break in the middle of a range test, and it took a good year for those to stop circulating. Heck, there's probably still a bunch of them out there, and we got a hold of them too. And we realized real quick they were bad. We stopped stocking them, stopped ordering them, and all kinds of things can happen. Someone actually broke, and I don't have all the full details. I'm still trying to get some, but it looks like someone actually broke a portion of one of our slides. I think they put like several thousand rounds through it at like near full auto, simulated FRTs and G flexes and whatnot. And we were wondering because like we were trying to like, hey, we'll get this fixed for you, not a problem. But we want to test it and see what happened. Did we get a bad batch of steel? Because that's a whole other thing too. Is manufacturing is a whole line. It's not like we have our own forge out back and we have our own mining company and we're mining the ore and we're forging it into steel and then we're cutting that steel. No, we get a steel bar like this, right? And then we turn that steel bar into this. I did not make the steel bar. I wasn't out back forging this to be made into that bar. So, and I think people misunderstand that. They assume that the business does every single aspect, which is dumb, but people have that perspective. And so if the steel you got is bad, you don't know it until someone puts stress on it, because all you have is the spec sheet, right? And someone's like, yeah, the steel specs for this. And, we could go buy some equipment and stuff to test it. But if we started getting subpar steel, we just contact the company we got it through and they contact a whole list of people and we figure out what happened. And if there's an issue, we fix it for the customer. $10 for background, $10 for the background check. You pay for background checks? That sucks. That sucks a lot, man. Yep, Gideon Optics there again. Gideon's getting around. That is freaking awesome. That is super awesome that Gideon's getting around. I need to get another Gideon optic. Probably need to get another Hollow Sun too. But yeah, some of these are coming in great. Oh yeah. I think if I was running it just for storage and paperwork bullshit, I'd probably do transfers at like 15 or $20, you know, and then undercut all the competition. Piss everybody off. That's a great way to make good neighbors. This is actually like a double-edged sword for us, right? So like our prices, people keep telling us, oh, they're not the cheapest. You can go on eBay and find, like some $80 junk 416R stainless steel slides that are just bricks. But ours are 17.4. They've got designs, they've got porting, good price. They're not cheap, but they're also not expensive. They're somewhere nice in the middle. And it's like a double-edged sword too, because we've got people who automatically don't trust it because our prices are decent. They're like, oh, well, it's 145 for this slide. It must be, there must be something wrong with it. And it's just like, nope, it was easier to machine. This one right here, the Zoom. Our standard is 145 on strip, and they assume it must be cheap. And it's like, no, it's just easier to produce than some of the other slides, so it's a little cheaper. That's all there is to it. It's no big thing. It's the Viper is harder to produce than the Zoom. It's got window cuts. There's more work I have to do with it. Ugh, right. I forgot about that. That California freaking extra tax. That is such bullshit. 8 point. I think we're somewhere around that 8.5, or I forget where we're at on sales tax. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. So the Space Warns. I don't have one on me, but here we go. It's got that distressing to it. And you can see all the corners kind of catch it, so you see the stainless steel. It's got a little bit of simulated wear throughout it. And so we started making this, and it's not quite battle worn, where it's got that scratchy, like maybe you dropped it, or maybe it got rubbed up against some concrete, where it's got that appearance, or where it has like a simulated holster wear from excessive use. It's a different kind of distressing. So it's not quite battle worn. I forget how we came up with the name Space Worn. Maybe just to be different. But we started making that, and then some of the competitors we were working with, or not, sorry, not working with, we're familiar with, all of a sudden they started releasing something similar, and it wasn't quite there yet. You could tell they were still trying to figure it out, and then they figured it out. So now there's other people out there making a similar product, and hey, whatever. Imitation is flattery and all that. Cool thing is none of them are the same, and I've had some people get mad about that, where they're just like, well, hey, how come this Space Worn doesn't look like that Space Worn? It's the wear process. The process to create that distressing doesn't always create the same pattern. New North, no sales tax. We were on what was the live last night? It was Black Diamond Guns and Gear and Fat Tack with DLD After Dark and Gideon Optics, right? So there was this girl, I think from Connecticut, in one of the chats whether it was Darks or Fat Tax, I forget, but was trying to ask about how to purchase guns. And, honestly, we forget being in Arizona. Sometimes I forget just how crappy some of the gun laws in other states are. I will not pay for it. I've seen this one on repeat too, where nothing changes. Organ Spring. I know we're having a bit of an issue. Well, I don't know how much of it's Oregon. I know a bunch of it's California. They're apparently putting their vagrants, homeless, drug users on one-way bus tickets over to Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. And apparently, it's California, Oregon, and Washington doing it. But I've gotten quite a few people from California. You go to interact with them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got a one-way bus ticket." It's like, "Oh, okay." I don't know how long it's lasted, but apparently, in regards to this, Israel has established air superiority at least over Tehran, if not the entirety of Iran. Oh yeah, yeah. I used to just carry, especially if it was a used firearm. I remember buying a shotgun as well as a few old rifles from oh god, what was it? 1903, 1915, 1942, and then there was a shotgun from the 1930s, and it didn't have a date make on it. It just had a model number. So, but I had to carry these out to the truck, and they didn't have gun cases with them. They didn't have the original box because they're all used. And there's this woman who's just standing next to her car with a California license plate, like with this shocked look on her face. And one of the gun store employees is just like, "No, no, it's cool, it's fine. He bought those, it's legal." And this is an interesting thing between Israel, Iran, Lebanon, Gaza, and I'm forgetting one of them right now. Yemen, forgetting Yemen, is that in order to get through the Israeli defense, anti-missile defense systems, the Iron Dome, is they have to overwhelm it with missile volume. But this does two things. One, it reduces how many missiles Israel has, but it also significantly reduces the amount of missiles that those other countries have. And Israel has a better capability to reacquiring missiles, of restoring their stock than some of those other countries do, due to all of the trade embargoes and restrictions that they have. So, if I remember correctly, I was seeing right when Israel had attacked. Afterwards, there was a counterattack by the Houthi rebels in Yemen, and they had attempted to launch missiles towards Israel, but it wasn't a lot of them. It was only a handful, and some of them missed. Same thing with some missiles launched from Lebanon. Was it Lebanon? Maybe it was just Yemen. Either way, one of the missiles landed in the Gaza area or West Bank area and actually injured or killed Palestinians, which was obviously not their intended target. They wanted the missiles to land in Israel and kill or wound or damage infrastructure in Israel, but due to their loss in capability and due to their restricted resources, due to prolonged actions against Israel in the past, they just don't have it. So it was more of like a symbolic attack, and it screwed up and ended up killing Palestinians who they supposedly support. But considering how Hamas oppresses everyone there, I wouldn't exactly call it support. Takes me about 5 to 30 minutes to do a background check with Nix. Though I do know some people who said they have a common last name, or due to familial affiliation, that it takes longer for them to go through the background check process. Sometimes 4 or 5 days before they can get a go. Oh, the hub. Yep, they have some of our slides. Gun store in Tucson, Mesa, and Lakeside. Wick Actual, he was one of the first collabs we ever did. He's making knives and stuff now. He's making all kinds of crazy stuff. A lot of defensive tools. But he got to visit our shop back when we were still in Florida. And I think the only other person to have visited our shop would be RTT Guns and Gear. Hey, here we are, RTT Guns and Gear. Great guy. Check out his channel. Really? Pomegranate powder, huh? I like the red pepper hummus. Hey, grilled cheese mouth, welcome. Yeah, I have one concealed weapons permit. Just in case I travel to other states. It's not so much needed in Arizona. It's really helpful if you're traveling to other states. And it has a few other useful things it's good for. But by and large, yeah, you do not need a license to conceal in Arizona. It helps out if you are 19 years old and you're in the National Guard or the reserves or active duty, and you're trying to carry off base. You can still get it. There's a few government buildings or national parks that if you have it, it makes things a little easier. Oh, look at all those camus, honeycomb, camo, speckle, pink camu, white lightning, blue lightning. And he's using Gideon optics. And all those cool camos and stencils and stuff we do, that's all tactical penguin. So we do a lot of that with them. You guys got any questions or anything? Feel free. I'm just killing some time. Yep, that's why we use it. Yep, not all stainless steel is made the same. No, no, the kids are young and there's business, there's work to do. There's always work to do. Yeah, you can always get a cheap dagger. I think they got sales where they sell them for like $40. Just play around with it. But having a 19 OEM is definitely great. Speaking of one, that's one to cover too. Is for optics, obviously, is that there is two screws, right? So when you put on your hollow sun or your Gideon or your SRO, one screw is going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be the right screw on the extractor side. If you put the long screw in the right side, it is going to mess with the internals. You put the long screw on the left side. And we get that so often. And most people don't even realize it. If you put the screws side by side, you realize one is just a little longer than the other. And they just put one willy nilly and they contact you afterwards and they're like, hey, there's a problem with my slide. And one of the first things, we go through a list of things, but one of the first things is, oh, hey, did you put an optic on it? Oh, did check the screws. And that fixes it like that for most people. Other times it's because they used a crappy parts kit, but we actually just replaced one for somebody recently. And what is this? Um, oh God, more work stuff. Uh, we helped someone with theirs recently, and their parts kit was crappy. So when we went and did the test firing, we were just like, yeah, we're not going to take the parts kit out. We can't sell it to anybody now. And yeah, we could keep it for our own uses and put it in another slide or something. But screw it. Here you go. Now you've got one that works. Don't know where you got your old parts kit from, but don't get it again. It was crappy. It was like the worst MIM plastic on some of the pieces. 23 or a 32 frame with a 19. What do they want now? Nope, we never tried that before. We should try that. That's what he wants. Okay. Yep. Of course, I've done a live with RTT Guns and Gear as well as G23. We did one together. Yeah, Vipers come in at about 175 ish. So all we'd have to do is change the extractor and what, maybe the backplate? No, that'd be for different generations. So just the ejector. You should try that out. Oh yeah, anytime. If you're doing any more in the future, feel free to let us know. And usually we're available. Sometimes I'm on call. Like today, I'm on call to deal with stuff, so I might have to end the live randomly, like I did earlier. But some days, once I'm done with work, I'm done. I can be home. I can run our admin, do stuff on the website, do the social media aspect of it. But today, if I get a call, I gotta end the live and deal with something. Or if anybody else wants us to, come on a live, yeah, we can go do that. Help out with some content, answer some questions, maybe show some stuff off here and there. And yeah, we are gonna do. So right now we're working on the SM17 Zoom, which is I don't have one with me. It is our basic slide, not basic like cheap or bad or anything like that, but it's the easiest to produce compared to the others. Like as you can imagine, deburring a Leonidas is kind of a pain in the ass, right? Or deburring a flash slide. There's just so much going on. There's so much more to mill. Whereas opposed to something like, say, the Hellet, which you'll see flying rich with one of these sometime in the near future, is easier. There's no windows. It's just front serrations, for aesthetics as well as function. In case you need to grip your slide up front, grip it in the rear, you have that option. So it's a lot easier than, like the Viper that has those three windows as well as the aesthetic ones. So they just take more work, more effort. Hey, Kurt 24. There was one to try and find. I'm sure I have him on our Facebook. Kurt's a mod now just because he is everywhere. Sorry, Kurt. Okay. I know I have it here somewhere. Oh, yeah, here we go. All Glocks. Not those guys, though. But all Glock clones. They're a fun group on Facebook for those of you still on Facebook. We are out of necessity. I actually despise Facebook quite a bit. We did get a restriction off of us. Facebook is now recommending our page again, a little bit, not as well as it could be, but they're also still threatening us too, which is just fun. Kurt the Smurf, yes. Let's see. There's got damage. He'll be at GunCon. Where is he? No, not him. It's here somewhere. I'll find it. No, well, maybe that was his. Nope, here it is. Rando Wayne. That's who did it. Hey, got new followers. Right on. Oh, okay, that was you, Kurt. Looked like it was you, just wasn't sure. Thank you for the follow. Here he is, Rando Wayne. So he had done a scratch test on these slides. He had one of ours, that burnt bronze Viper there, the PSA. Like one of those is a grit grips. Okay, I was right. It is a grit grips, and the top one's an aim surplus. So apparently the PSA, when he did like he dropped something on it and it scratched the frame. Whatever coating they used, just scratched really easily. Oh, so that's good to know too. Is that so? Aim surplus, their RMR cover plate. All right, I presume that's an RMR footprint that they're using. They're using plastic, and a lot of companies do. We use aluminum. So the little metal plate, or the yeah, well, it is metal. The little plate that comes on there, we use aluminum, and so it's sturdier. It doesn't crack. We actually had a guy a while back return his slide through one of our vendors, and the vendor should have handled it differently, but whatever. So what he had done is he took our aluminum RMR cover plate and then he replaced it with a crappy plastic one, but he tightened it down so hard that it cracked the plastic where the screws go in. And when we got it back, we could tell exactly what he did to it. He had tried to sand it down and was trying to do his own thing with it, and evidently he did not like his job. And so I've got it at the shop somewhere. I'm gonna have to do like a day where I bring in a bunch of the dumb ones that people have returned. Like one guy put his EDP rod in backwards. We've got that at the shop. Like got this one here. Got a bunch of other ones, and a lot of them were they are still fully functional. Like the EDP rod one that went in backwards, we got it out, installed it, test fired it, runs great. But the issue is now that it's all scratched and dinged and it's been fired, I can't sell it. I mean, I might be able to sell it as a blem and maybe go on eBay and sell it as a blem slide that's been test fired, and someone might buy it. But I got to sell it at a discount. And at this point, it's more fun to keep it on the shelf as like a talking piece. And when people go, "Hey, what's this?" I can go, "Oh, hey, this slide, this dumb person did this, or this slide. Oh yeah, this is a funny story." Um, like there's one where a customer took a ported barrel and put it on a slide without ported windows and fired it. Our slide took it like a champ. The frame they were using did not. That frame cracked in half. Yeah, everybody's a gunsmith. Everybody's a gunsmith. We're not 100% knowledgeable. I don't know everything. There's always more to learn, but god damn, there's some things that it's like, could you please just look up a YouTube video? Like go check a few things before you start building stuff. Because holy fuck. Just some of the stuff I've seen that people have done. One guy, I can't prove anything. I can't prove anything, but I swear he took a hammer and bent this just to do a return, like some buyer's remorse. Like we would have just taken it back. Like if you need to do a return, we would have just taken it back. You didn't need to break it because there's no way in hell this, which gets wrapped in foam, which gets put in a plastic box, which gets wrapped in bubble wrap, then gets mailed off in a polymer bag, all protected and wrapped up, got bent in shipping. There's no freaking way. Or another one, some guy put in generational parts that weren't the same, and you could tell he like took a mallet or something, forced them into place, and marred that metal all up. Yeah, he said it was bent in shipping. I didn't believe him for an instant. We took it back, whatever. But I don't believe him. I think he's a lying scumbag, but it is what it is. And that's just the nature of doing business. You're going to get people who suck or people who are stupid, and you just run with it. You have most of our customers, great, perfectly good people. They know what they're doing, or they understand that there is work to be done. That like not one single part is the problem. Like we test our slides on Glock OEM, SCT manufacturing frames, Polymer 80 frames, Palmetto State Armory dagger frames. What else? We haven't tested them on Geisler yet. But we know our customers say they work on Geisler. But we have all these. We want to get a grit grips. We have all these frames in the shop just so we can test. We can run our slides and go, "Yep, this works." Functions test, good to go. So when someone tells us it doesn't work, it's like, "Oh, okay. Well, hey, do this. Do these brief troubleshooting things." And hey, what's the rest of your build like? And there's so many people that are like, well, it's automatically the slide. The slide's at fault. I'm like, the slide is just a carrier. Okay, it's like the bolt carrier group on an AR. It just it carries things. The slide does that. It carries the barrel. It carries the UPK. Right. Like so, if there's usually a problem, it's if the slide's out of spec. Yeah, that's understandable. But we know it's not. So tell us about your UPK. Tell us about your barrel. Tell us about the rails on your frame. Did you polish them? Like, did you sand everything down right, or are there burrs? Because one guy sent us photos of his. He did his own. It was back when Polymer 80 was still around. Man, that sucks about Polymer 80. But anyway, he had rough edges where they weren't sanded properly. He had burrs on his rails, and it's like, yeah, man, sand it down and remove the burrs and polish your rails, and it'll run fine. And sure enough, he does it. We're like, yeah, man, look up these YouTube videos. And he comes back to us 3 weeks later. He's like, "Yeah, what you did, it worked." He's like, "And I also ran your slide on an OEM just to be sure." And he's like, "Yeah, it works great." And I'm like, "Well, hey, thanks." But there is some effort to building your own firearms. You can't just expect everything to plug and play. Sometimes you have to polish something. Sometimes you have to sand something down. Sometimes there's a break-in period. And if you're gonna, not get OEM parts kits, you got to make sure the company you're buying from is quality as well. You can't just buy some Chinese EM off Timu and hope it works for 1,000 rounds. Go with a company that works, like SCT Manufacturing that has good parts kits. I know because I've run 2,000 rounds through one on a Leonidas like this, and their parts kits work just fine. Yes. Oh, hey, welcome. Just and worse. Yeah, everyone wants something for nothing. Everyone thinks, and this is something America, in my opinion, did really wrong. Is for 50 years we taught two, three generations. If you complain, bitch, whine, and moan enough, you'll get something for free. Instead of just respectfully dealing with a situation like an adult, if you bitch, whine, and moan enough, you'll get something for free. And businesses did not help, especially corporate run businesses, did not help in this capacity. And while Stiffler Manufacturing is technically a corporation, we're not a big one. We're veteran and family run, and there's people we've told no, like no, you're not doing this, and no, we don't believe your BS. Walk us through this. Walk us through the steps that you've done. We did a troubleshoot for a customer slide just a week or two ago. Went to a local gun shop in Tucson, or no, well, yeah, technically a gun shop, local range in Tucson, and we test fired it for them. Ran 50 rounds through it, did a whole eval on it, like that, like butter. And but all the problems they were talking about didn't make sense to us. So we were like, "Hey, what's going on?" So we ran this for them, and the person is very polite. They just obviously frustrated that they couldn't get their build to work correctly. And we're happy to take some time. It might take us a week or two because we're making three, four, 500 slides a week, right? And we're getting parts kits in, and we're building completes, not complete bills, but complete uppers for people. And we're getting all this mailed off. And for some of you that saw our post on social media or the thumbnail for this live, uh, we are now coast to coast. We have sold an SM19 and shipped an SM19 to every state in the country, from California to Maine, Hawaii and Alaska included. From Oregon to Florida. or Washington to Florida, whatever. We have sold a slide and shipped it to every single state, as well as some of the territories like Puerto Rico. We have sent slides, and now we're slowly getting to 17 that way. And so we're busy. We're not big. I wish we could be busier. Um, but it might take us a week or two to troubleshoot something for somebody. And the guy was very patient, and he had a lot of questions. And what we're seeing with this, at least on our end, we're seeing a lot of new shooters. We're seeing a lot of new people getting into building uh, across all ages and genders and backgrounds, and all these people who are getting into the Second Amendment. And it's a societal shift that is just something we haven't seen before, where this many people are so into it. Whether or not you see that as a problem with the country or a problem with people's individual states and cities or political shifts, what have you, it's really cool to see that people are building their own firearms, assembling them, that they're getting into shooting, they're going to the range, they're doing all that stuff. And sometimes they just have questions because they weren't taught when they were kids by anybody. And so they rely on the business that they were talking with. Hey, can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that? Can you troubleshoot this? And building that kind of like positive relationship with them is awesome, but sometimes it's also incredibly frustrating because they have almost too many questions, like stuff that it's like, all right, man, come on, go on YouTube and figure it out for yourself for like 5 minutes. Like we had one dude reaching out to us on Christmas Eve, just like all day long, and was it? Just yeah, all day long. And it's like, dude, come on, man. Like we're trying to get out of the shop and go hang out with the family, go hang out with the kids. Like, leave us alone for 5 minutes. How's that working out for the lone wolf frame? How's that going? Uh, Kurt. Some people just don't have some shame on it. We've talked to a few companies too, but they just won't ship to certain places anymore either. Certain states, even if their product is legal, they haven't passed a local law that says it's illegal. They won't ship to certain states. They won't ship to certain cities. So like if you go and look at like Delta Team Tactical, they have a whole list of places they won't ship to. Sometimes it's because of laws, and sometimes it's just because of problems. Oh yeah, yeah. When we first started, I think I got to talk with Marine Gun Builder for like 2 minutes, but definitely had a lot of cool stuff on there. Let's see, where is? They don't have it up top. I'll have to show one on ours, but like for example, we have never shipped to, but we will not ship to American Samoa, the territory, because of rules and stuff they have going on. But everywhere else, we will still ship to, and it's definitely like when you're checking out a gun company that's doing something for you, definitely check out their warranty information and their shipping restrictions. Like here's ours. Let's see, there it is. Okay, and so this is fully updated now that we've had to add American Samoa, and that's just because they have some laws there that I don't think even 9 millimeter is legal there because it is their contention that the Second Amendment does not apply, or even the Constitution does not apply to American Samoa because they are a territory instead of a state. Oh, for Michigan, for that, yeah, I saw that with Michigan. That was, as far as I know, it's stalled. It hasn't gone anywhere. No, yeah, and there's a lot of bad 2A channels, and I will never proclaim that we know everything. There's always something we can learn. And there's so many channels that their way is the only way. And it's like, no, that's not true. That's not always the case. So we had to go through and go through shipping restrictions and finally go through warranty return policies and customer responsibility too. This is a very important one that we've had some issues with. Is people bought slides and other stuff from other people. They bought UPKs and they bought whatever, and then they realized that what they were trying to build isn't legal in their state. They'd have to get it serialized. And then they're like, "Oh crap, can I return it?" And it happened a lot, not just to us. It happened to a lot of gun parts manufacturers, a lot of vendors and distributors, where people kept ordering things. And it's not so much that like this was illegal. It's the finished product would be illegal unless registered and serialized and a bunch of other BS. Oh, okay. Yeah, we stick with OEM parts and SCT manufacturing parts, and I'm sure there's a few other good companies out there, but that's what we stick with so far, and we're not having any problems with them. Oh, cool. I experienced a lot of that D23 on Reddit. So there was a lot of gun groups that are very tight knit, which isn't a bad thing. It's just the information they were giving out was purposely false on some of them, or they would purposely exclude people who are coming to try and get information. And the kind of way we look at it is based on experience and based on what we offer. And all of us have a somewhat duty of custodianship to the Second Amendment and teaching people who have no idea what the hell they're doing. Now, does it mean they have to figure out some of it on their own? Yes. Yes, they absolutely do. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't nudge them in the right direction or purposely hide information from them or give them false information, which a lot of these groups are definitely doing. And they need to knock that shit the fuck off because it's just making bad gun owners, it's making bad builders, and it's not a good look. Like we already have enough enemies. Like why are we creating more problems? And it's these. I have no nice way of saying it. It's these FUD assholes that just want to hoard information and give falsehoods out to people who have not had the experience that they have, and they need to knock it off. Like they should honestly be ashamed of themselves, and they're not. They think they're doing a good thing. Like, oh yeah, I'm the best gun owner ever. I know everything, and fuck all these new guys. No, they need to knock that shit off. Nice. There was one gun group before we got banned off Reddit. They used to have a blacklist, and I wonder if that's something that more groups and more pages and channels need to start establishing. Um, we probably can't do it so much because of a libel slander kind of thing. But other groups like Facebook groups and channels and things like that, people who aren't businesses probably could start establishing like, hey, this group has bad practices, or hey, this business has bad practices, and avoid or at least treat with caution. We saw that at least on a few Reddit pages before we got banned that they had a whole laundry list of non-reputable businesses, non-reputable groups. Like, hey, interact with these people at your own discretion, at your own risk. And I even see a few of them on Facebook now where you go on there and people are like, hey, I got scammed by so and so. I got scammed by so and so. And sometimes it's the same people over and over again. And at a certain point, you have to finally say, you know what, the risk reward is no longer worth it. That good price is no longer worth it. You got to start sticking with businesses and reputable groups. But some of them kind of crave it. They're like, I need to be in the shadows to go and get these sketchy gun parts from some sketchy guy out behind Walmart. And then they end up selling them something really crappy for way too much money or something that doesn't work. Yep. Now we've got a whole warranty shipping policy thing going on just because of some of these issues we've dealt with. But if you're buying something from a company, check out their warranty policy, check out their shipping policy. We wrote it up obviously to protect us, but also to be fair to the people buying from us. Because at a certain point, like how much time do you give someone to inspect what they bought? You know, how much time should you give them to return something? How much time do you give them for troubleshooting? Because at the end of the day, you are doing something that you should figure out yourself. You are building a gun. You need to use your head a little bit. You can't have everyone hold your hand through it. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't, and I wonder sometimes how they got to such followers. And it's either because they're doing some like grab content to get people like like a hook in a story. They're in and now they're excited. It's people with no experience, and I also wonder if they're paying for advertising. I wonder if we probably did reach out to them, but that was probably like within the first 6 months or year that we were in business. Now that we've been in business longer, maybe we should reach out again. Man, we reached out to everybody. Hell, we reached out to Hickok 45 once, but he doesn't do that kind of collaboration stuff, and I respect that. That's not what his content's about. So I dig that. Oh, this one had to add this one. If the post office loses your stuff, we can't make them find it. You have to initiate that process with the post office first yourself. Like we can get you all the tracking information and everything that we know, but the buyer has to initiate it. The seller can't initiate it. They don't let us initiate it. Had to add that one. I think we're going to send him something as well. Yeah, we should reach out to Marine Gun Builder again, see if he wants to do something. I'm still trying to get Dark to tell me what kind of slide he wants. I might have to give him one in Sig Pink just because. We'll get him a turbo in Sig Pink. Oh, I mean, it's not slippery. I guess I see what he means. Okay. What about you? Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what he means. All right. Talk about the grip feel on the coating. Yeah, funny thing is, we might actually. I don't have my M17 with me. It's being tested right now, but we might make an M17 slide just because Sig is still popular. Um, but I know they're facing issues with this whole discharge problem that they've been having, and I wonder if it's worth it for us to do M17 slash P320 slide after we do the 43. Well, I guess we'll have to see with how Sig handles this and how any kind of legal action happens. I've heard there might be a lawsuit. Telling you picked it for him. So Flying Rich is getting a helmet in Space Worn, And obviously, Red Dawn Readiness already has his Viper in camo. I know Crump said he wanted one at some point. So yeah, it'd be funny if we gave Zark one of these slides in Sig Pink just to see that on his gun wall. That'd be hilarious. How do you guys like the AIM surplus barrels, if you have any? Um, yeah, G23 has a Sig Pink slide. He has the zoom. I haven't tried AIM. I don't think I have an AIM surplus barrel. I think of the barrels we've gotten were through like Omega Team Tactical, and of course we're gonna get some stuff through SCT. But oh yay, my page is recommendable now. Thank you. You broke some rules. No, I didn't. We'll die on that hill. I did not break any rules. How's it working? I know they were doing a sale a little while back, and it seemed like the sale was pretty good. But pop off real quick. Be right back. All right, back on. Those would be great if you can find them. Yeah, yeah, the perfect size for making a drink or whatever. Yeah, back again. Day drinking. That sounds like a plan. I could get on board with some day drinking. Problem is, I think YouTube would have a problem if they saw me drinking whiskey or something. We might be doing threaded barrels at some point. We can't sell them on eBay. eBay will not let us sell threaded barrels. We can do ported and standard, but we might be doing threaded barrels on the website at some point. People looked at me weird when I used to work nights. I'd come home and I'd pour a glass of whiskey or something, sit out, watch the sunrise coming up, put a cigar and just a glass of whiskey, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "I work nights. This is the only time I can drink." YouTube promotes day drinking, just not firearms. They have an issue with suppressors and certain other things, so they won't let you sell items that support certain items. So no threaded barrels because they know people are going to use it, or they suspect people are going to use it for suppressors. Even though there's other stuff you can put on there, it doesn't have to be a suppressor. I think eBay just doesn't want to make money. And I remember about a year and a half ago, we had to change all of our listings because they wanted specific verbiage. We couldn't say things a certain way. Oh yeah, yeah. eBay and Amazon, both of them hate guns. The only reason eBay hasn't banned it is because they make so much money on sellers like us selling gun parts. eBay makes 13.6% to 20% if we do advertising, which sometimes we have to do per sale. So we highly encourage, and if you know other manufacturers or whatever that are selling on eBay, try to convince their customers to go to their website. Our website takes 4% of our sale. eBay takes 13 to 20%, and we try to convince people get off eBay. One, eBay is not gun friendly. The only reason they still sell people sell gun parts is because of how much money they're making on it. That 13 to 20% per item. And eBay also doesn't take 13 to 20% off your listed fee. They take the 13 to 20% off your total. So after shipping, even if the customer paid for shipping, after taxes, they take the 13% to 20%, not based off the listed sale price, which is, in my opinion, a little fucked up. And eBay does not discourages and will even block you from selling if you try to divert people off their site. Like so if a customer messages us and says, "Hey, do you have like a website?" I can't actually admit that. I can't say, "Hey, hey, go over to stifflermanufacturing.com. We have more options over there, and the prices are better over there." Yes, there's a lot of counterfeit parts on China. Unfortunately, eBay is so popular. it's like anything else out there. They have name recognition. So they're so popular, and people have been using eBay for so long, freaking what 20, 25, 30 years now, that people trust it. And it does help that eBay has good customer support when it comes to getting your money back or if there's issues. So that's great, but it really does kick every seller right in the daddy bag. Because you think like maybe we sell one of our slides for 190 and we lost 13 up to 20% of that sale. In addition to everything else we already put into it, we already had to pay for the steel, we had to pay for the end mills, pay for the coolant, the machine payments, the shop payments, all the overhead, paying the employees. So on top of all that, after we sell it, eBay takes 20%. And it'll probably be a good long time before we stop selling on eBay. We may never stop selling on eBay. It's that popular. People use it that much. Yeah, I used to buy a lot until Amazon came around. I bought a lot of stuff on eBay. But then Amazon became less and less, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for here? Amazon became less reliable, I guess, as well as a bunch of their stuff wasn't as available. Man, I love this one. We actually just got some SCT frames in, so I have to do some builds. I really need to get out to the range, go out to the desert, and just shoot. Right on, Kurt. Have a good one. Happy Father's Day. Oh, that's another. That's not one of ours. Still, Rando Wayne, give him a look. Check out his stuff. He reviewed one of our slides he got through Delta Team Tactical. Did a pretty good job. We've seen a lot of people do gun reviews, and they're just kind of lacking. And I like that he tested it out with an FRT or a binary. He drop tested it. I like that. He went through it. Same thing with Got Gamage. He went through and did a whole explanation of building and poundage on the spring, and guy did a great job on it. And I've mentioned it before, but he is going to be at GunCon, and he is on the panel, so he'll be speaking there. Stiffler. Hey, half empty. How you doing? Oh, here it is. I really should get him another slide at some point when he's ready to do another pistol build. Dark might want to reach out to Gamage at some point. If I remember correctly, he does minister work or pastor work. I forget which one. Uh, both of them are into guns, both in touch with God. They might really get hit it off. Happy Father's Day. Doing pretty good. Just trying to get some streaming in. I've been a little lazy about it. I don't know if you know us from any of our other stuff, half empty, but we turn steel bars into gun slides. If you got questions, feel free to ask them. I'm trying to just hit a lot of streaming today, or a lot of live hours today if I can. I already got interrupted earlier, unfortunately. I'm on call for my other job when I'm not doing this. So, oh, awesome. Hope it's good stuff. There's probably stuff we still have to improve upon, but we've got a variety of slides. Here, we'll pause Gamage real quick and roll in through Delta. So Delta Team Tactical and MMC Armory, they have some of our slides. And here's a whole list of them here. Oh, the combat optic? I don't believe we do. But let me try and pull that up. Combat optic cut. See if we're talking about the same thing here. Here we go. Nope, that's not what I was. Well, dovetail in front of the optic. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah, here we go. So you've got your no co-witness where it's just the red dot. I'm not a fan of that. The combat cut, I am interested to shoot one. I have never shot one like this before. To be honest, all my experience is with the co-witness or just traditional iron, and something about this says that's weird. But for all I know, man, maybe it works. Maybe it's great. So we don't make any like that, but I'd love to shoot one to try it out, see how well it does. Yeah, definitely like to try that out sometime. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a concept of it. And I definitely do not like the no co-witness. Don't be wrong. You can train to the point where if your red dot fails, you can still be accurate in 50 yards or less. More likely the less. Uh, but I just don't like it that if your red dot fails, you don't have the backup iron sight to run with. I do not like that concept at all. So, combat front or iron sights in the rear with co-witness, that seems like a great idea. The no co-witness seems like a horrible idea. Oh, awesome. Well, yeah, if you have any questions about anything, we've been doing this for 2.5 years now. We're in Arizona. Our slides, unlike a lot of others who do it with 416R stainless steel, we make ours out of 17.4 stainless steel. So harder, more corrosion resistant. We make a variety of colors and models using Cerakote for the coating. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not a sponsor was in here earlier. I didn't know he went live. I probably should have popped in. I need to do more live streams. The time out of the shop or off the other job is just the main issue. Let's see, we'll be doing a sale for July 4th through the 3rd and the 6th. And here's a good example of it. Is we'll be doing USMC red, Arctic white, and NRA blue on sale, 15% off. So that'll be coming for the July 4th sale. We were at SHOT Show this year. If you didn't see us with that, we had a table alongside MMC Armory. So we got to meet a lot of people. Got to meet, John Crump with John Crump News. We met Jack of all trades there. A lot of different people. I mean, if you're just using it as like a range and a test, you won't need it. When we actually test fire our slides, like for example, when our 17 here that we test fired, we did not put optics on it. We literally just ran it and tested, and we actually still hit the target at the 10 yards, still hitting the target. So I mean, you can kind of imagine your sights there, and you'll still hit your target as long as you have a good muscle memory and training. But you'll definitely want that optic, or at least iron sights if you're actually trying to do some testing and really go at it at the range. Love the way the Gideon optic looks. I'm not familiar with this optic though. Oh, Gideon's Granite optic. Okay, I hadn't seen that one yet. I'm familiar with their Omega red dot. One's got a fingerprint on it. Okay, interesting. Okay. Yeah, we just started making a 17 this month, end of last month, and that would be this Viper here. And we are going to be making, if everything goes well, we'll have our next 17 model out sometime next week, if not by the end of the month. Hoping for next week, but there's always issues. After that, we'll probably start working on the Glock 43. Yeah, Delta picked up a lot of these red and white and blue ones. It just looks good. SCT frame, SCT LPK, Stiffler slide, ELD performance barrel, SCT UPK, Gideon optics, red dot. Don't know what they're using for the iron sights though. Let's see, what are they using for those? That's oh, they posted our 17s. Awesome, awesome. I didn't know they'd already posted those. Ha. Okay, but what are they posting for the iron? The iron's not listed. Wild. Awesome. Thank you for the sub. Definitely feel free to let us know. Oh, Anderson, they got taken over by Ruger, right? Yeah, a lot of us know each other half empty, so or at least we've interacted with each other through various lives. For example, Red Dawn Readiness, John Crump News, DLD After Dark, Flying Rich Firearms, uh, Fat Tack Holsters, Black Diamond Guns and Gear. The other company like Definition Knives is also run by DLD After Dark. Who else? G23 here with us. There's others. There's others, and I'm forgetting them right now. We just got slightly unbanned on Facebook. What in the hell? Oh, dumb. Just got slightly unbanned from Facebook. Finally. We have sold and shipped a slide to every state in the country now. That took us a little while to get accomplished, but we made it happen. I can't pronounce. I think it's Ghost with the X in place of the O. But he just got a hold of one of our builds or one of our slides for a build recently. I heard Anderson. Maybe I don't know. It's something with one of the lives I was in that Anderson Ruger was picking up Anderson. Maybe I'm thinking of a different company. Oh, I remember this one. This was he had the RIP rounds and people he did it as kind of a joke and people went in there and gave him shit. I got to give credit to that. I never think to do stuff like this when I'm doing lives or anything or videos to get the angry responses, the joke responses. People come in there actually, you know. Some of those awful ass gun sales. There we are. A Ruger bought Marlin. Okay. Oh, Half Empty's got some cool stuff on some knives. Okay. Baller. Dig it. Give a good sub back. Hey, we're almost at 200 subscribers. Awesome. So I do need to plug you back in. Definitely pick that up from dark, where I have to have my phone next to me, and sometimes I'm watching the screen or looking at something, and I can't see when you guys are commenting. Oh yeah, definitely. Happy to subscribe and share. Build the two-way wall. And I love that Hickok 45 is still doing this. That's what I grew up on watching videos and stuff before I was in the army. And Hickok 45, Demolition Ranch, all kinds of stuff. All those old videos. Man, I want to get a frame done like his, where he's got his logo on it. I want to get the Stiffler Dragon on there. I liked a lot of the weird craziness they were doing with shotgun reloads when I was younger. Wasn't always practical, of course. It was just more neat, crazy, weird. We are at some point, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do it, but we are going to add something to the RMR. I'm betting this is probably where we add once we start doing Gen 5. We'll put that information here so it can be covered by the optic. And we might put our logo on the RMR cover plate, but we also might put it on the slide itself. I'm not sure. Ain't no slide like a Stiffler slide. That's awesome. Oh, my YouTube is full of garbage. Where is? Yeah, we might have to get our own laser engraver just for that, just to put logos and stuff on things. We just interacted with TN Tactical the other day, and I think RTT Guns and Gear did as well. I'm getting some lag. This right here. He experienced a problem with the slide and he worked with it and got it right, or not with the slide, with the build. We get so many people that they don't want to try and troubleshoot. But the funny thing is, OEM manufacturing firearms will have their own break-in issues as well. But nobody ever thinks to go yell at Ruger or Smith and Wesson or Glock. They're just like, oh, I gotta work through it. Oh yeah, and it's a lot harder. Half empty is not. I mean, obviously the steel is harder as well, but it's harder on our end mills. We could be cutting 416, and our end mills would last longer. But this creates a truer product. It's stronger and it's more corrosion resistant. And obviously anything can still break. There's always issues with production. Anything produced can break. There's always possibility for issues, but sticking with 17.4, it's I don't know. It's just the choice for us. We know it works. Rando Wayne, what's going on? Yeah, why troubleshoot when you can complain? Looking at Got Damage right now. He reviewed one of our flash slides a while back, and yeah, he experienced an issue. He changed out the spring, fixed the issue, no problems. He's going to be at GunCon in about 10 days. He'll be on the panel there talking to people. I'm not even sure how he got this video on here without YouTube throwing a fit. Because here he is just working at a bench. Oh, CNH comp, yeah. But here he is working at a bench, changing out stuff on the slide, and I don't know how YouTube didn't throw a fit. To be honest, someday just me waving around a slide, I swear they are going to freaking restrict me, just like Meta does. But I guess it can detect that there's not a frame involved. That sucks. I've seen companies that have done that where they stop responding. Um, I knew one that they would block people as soon as it went like as soon as there was an issue, they just blocked the person and moved on. They actually caught a ration of shit for it on Instagram to the point where anything they posted got flooded with comments about them ghosting people and blocking people and being rude to people. And there is a level of customer service. Yeah, like people do need to figure out their builds, and they do need to adult and figure out how to make stuff happen. But there's no need to be unnecessarily a dick to people. PSA did that. Well, yeah, I know Dark said something about having an issue with PSA, and I don't know all the details about it, but I did experience with a couple of their slides where they had burrs on it or on the rails. They needed to have a little bit of polishing on it because there was a bit of how to describe it. I don't have a frame. I can't show a frame. So on the rail, they had a bit of raised metal, like a lip, and that was causing hangups with the slide. So you go to a polishing wheel and you polish the rail real quick, and all of a sudden it runs like butter. And I could honestly see how that could be missed in the manufacturing step. I don't know if PSA made the rail or if they procured it from someone else, but that was just part of, in my opinion, the gun building process. Like, okay, I've identified the fault. I go and get a tool. I fix the fault. Was there any need to get involved with PSA or anybody else? No, I was able to fix it, like that. Now I get most people don't have the tools, or if they're really new to gun building or really new to shooting, they don't know how to troubleshoot because they've never done it before. They're still new. And most of customer, culture is, hey, if something's not work, go complain to the company and they fix it. But guns are a whole different industry. There's a lot of stuff you have to do yourself. And when you're swapping parts, it's not like, there was a Stiffler slide, sorry, not like there was a Stiffler frame because we don't make them. And then there was a Stiffler parts kit. We don't make those. All we make is the slide. Everything else is from somebody else. So sometimes there's going to be some hangups when you make a build and you've got to polish a few things off. Damage, that looks clean. Yeah, I guess because he's just interacting with the slide, just like I do, and he's not interacting with a frame. Because I kind of want to do some workbench videos of us in the shop, but I'm always concerned somebody touches the wrong thing or something in the background, and all of a sudden we something in the background, and all of a sudden we can't post videos. That and it gets rowdy in the shop. There's a lot of yelling. There's people on one end of the shop to the other end of the shop. Hey, get me this part. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. So it's really hard to do videos in the shop. Yeah, that's a good point, Rando Win. Yeah. And I've been on a few of the Reddit groups where instead, when someone comes on there looking for advice, they're like, "Hey, I'm new to this. This is my first build, or maybe this is even my third or fifth build, but I've run into something I don't understand. Can someone help me out?" And all they do is get roasted by people. And there is what I consider a huge detriment to the 2A community is those people, because yes, to a degree, you are building a gun, so you do need to learn things on your own and do things on your own and figure things out. But at the same time, like I've mentioned before, is that those of us that do know what we're doing, and none of us can know it all. There's always more to learn. There's always different perspectives, different aspects to the entire 2A, industry. But for those of us that do know what we're doing in those instances, we have, in my opinion, some measure of custodianship, right? Where we have a sort of duty or obligation to, if not teach, nudge in the right direction, where we can say, hey, try this, or hey, look this up. We don't have to do it for you. You're still going to figure it out, but maybe here's the right path. And there's so many people that, haha, fuck you, you don't know what you're doing. There's just too much of that. There's way too many fud ass people on 2A industry forums, Reddit, Facebook, all these different groups where they try to exclude everybody that wasn't them, and where they think they're the cream of the crop, where they're the best and what they say goes. There's too much of that crap. We already have too many enemies in the gun industry as it is. Like, why are we making enemies of each other? It just doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, now, I guarantee you, we're not going to get a lot. I have more monetization on Rumble than I do YouTube. I really do need to work on doing more videos on Rumble. It's just so much easier to do lives on YouTube and upload to YouTube than it is Rumble. Yeah, inclusion instead of exclusion. And I don't know. I don't know if it's an age gap thing. I don't know if it's an arrogance thing, because we are getting so many new people who've never grown up with guns before, who've never, and even older people who've never built one before. All they've ever known is what they bought at the store or at their local gun shop. And now all of a sudden there's this huge industry where people are 3D printing frames, where people are machining their own parts, where people are using laser engravers, where once, like for example, for us, we mill these windows out using a CNC machine. There are people now that are making their own ported windows with a laser engraver. It takes, longer depending on the model they have, but they're doing it themselves now. People are using lasers or even their own tools to cut grips into their blank slides. Like people are actually going out and doing their own stuff now. So there's this entire whole new culture with all these new people in it. Where once before this was seen as something crazy people do, old Jim Bob out in the woods making his own gun, and now it's average people just every day 3D printer. Hey, look, I made my own frame. Hey, look, I used a laser engraver to do this. It's an entirely new world for the Second Amendment, and there's all these people that are now in it, and we have people trying to kick people out of it. It doesn't make sense. We have so many enemies who want us to never have guns, and why are we fighting each other? Oh, thanks, G23. Yep, and Crump News, that's a great one to look at. He's always talking about laws that are coming up, politicians, different scenarios, all kinds of things that are going on. Helps me keep up to date. I think you got our slide through Delta, right, Wayne? They've actually listed our 17s now, so they've got them on there, which is pretty awesome. And of course, with a Gideon optic, gotta love it. Really happy for Gideon. Oh, did I lose? Oh, I did lose it. Okay, looks like I lost my live stream there. What the heck? There we go. Okay, everything went blank for me for a minute. Oh yeah, DLD After Dark, Red Dawn Readiness. We sent one of our camo slides out to Red Dawn. We're probably gonna send a pink slide over to DLD just because it says SIG. Step off for a second. Oh, thanks for posting all those links, G23. Let's see, how much are we on right now? 2 hours? There we go, a little longer. I swear, one day I am going to just put it on live and have one of our slides or builds or something just spinning on a freaking table. Hey, J Dog, what's going on? Just trying to get some streaming hours in. Let's see. Poppy the gun guy. Oh, here we go, the gun guy. He did one on ours. Actually, he did. He took one of our G19 Gen 3 Leonidas slides and he put it on a Glock 45. There we go. Okay, the gun guy. Oh, you might like this one, G23. So this is Sig Pink on our Leonidas. Run on over to him, tell him you want to see more Sig Pink Leonidas. Yep, he had a light primer strike. It looks like that might have just been a cartridge issue. Yes, they can. Gen 3 slides can go on Gen 5. Swap that back plate. Hey, half empty mentioned us. help them out. Good tap rack bang right there. Yeah, good cycle. Usually on the light primer strikes, it's a UPK issue, or sometimes it is the right screw for the optic tightened down too hard, or they're using the wrong size screw for the right side. Hey, Damian Christian. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. We're gonna go out and get actual Gen 5 slides, and we're gonna do a lot of comparisons, and we're gonna do a lot of measurements, and make sure we're good to go before we slap Gen 5 on there. Yeah, respect. Going out and get a paint gun because wants to do something different. Dig it. I tell you though, you get shot with a pink Leonidas, you're gonna feel it. Doesn't matter that it's pink; it'll still take you down. Well, some of the white slides are getting popular, but we don't make this particular white anymore. This is Stormtrooper white. We have switched to an Arctic white. Sometimes they just need a break-in period too. Some people want it to run flawlessly, within the first magazine or two. And you go get an OEM platform, and sometimes it still takes a few hundred rounds. Like I had a Ruger SR9, and did not dial in right until I was about 300 to 500 rounds in. Yeah, that's what I thought that was the only difference was is you need the slide plate changed out. I haven't done it myself yet though. We'll probably do that once we go get our Gen 5 set up because we're gonna have to make a Gen 5 19, a 17. The 43 is fine because it's its own thing. Yep, clean up your brass, people. Don't trash your ranges. And if you're out on public land, don't trash the land. Pick up your brass. Pick up your targets. We got a huge problem out here in Arizona where people trash the desert and then they close down the range areas that people are using. And they're going out there and shooting glass windows and fucking TVs, and they just leave it behind. They also shoot in the watering holes for the cattle. So like cows go out there and drink water, and freaking ranchers are pissed because they go out. That's the water that the cows are supposed to be drinking from, right? And people are just lighting it up. Like, be respectful of your environment. And you might have similar laws in your own states. Here, it is illegal to damage, shoot, whatever, saguaro cactuses. Yeah, those big tall cactus you see in like the cartoons with the big old arms. Yeah, that's illegal to purposely damage them, shoot them. You'll get in trouble for it if you get caught. There is a fun story, kind of morbid, I guess, of a guy who went out into the desert and he lit up one of the saguaros, and one of the cactus arms fell off of the cactus and landed on him and killed him. And it's just like, yeah, man, you should have been shooting a goddamn cactus. Like, leave it alone. That's just karma right there. Half empty, making post. Heck yeah. Bring that like in. Yeah, if you guys have channels, if you guys feel free to subscribe. We'll subscribe back. Help each other out. Yeah, go subscribe to Half Empty. Go subscribe to Bullseye Ben. We all know who Hickok 45 is. Strambuli Law, go subscribe to him. Does a lot of legal stuff about the Second Amendment. Go subscribe to Flying Rich Firearms, Washington Gun Law, Theo's Guns, Chanson243. Go subscribe to him. Hey, we got J Dog in here. Go subscribe to J Dog. Mud and Munitions. Go subscribe to him. TN Tactical. Checking out his channel this week. Go give him a like and subscribe. Local Prepper. John Crump News, definitely. Yeah, good groups. They all do come with their own content. It's all a little different. Let's see who else. Let's do a search. Who else is doing Stiffler stuff? Obviously, us. We're live right now. Barbie EDC girl. I think we followed her from some other group. I forget. See what she's doing. Yeah, check out the Armsman. Yep, she got stuck with knives. I remember this a while back. Definition knives getting some competition. All right, popping out. RTT Guns and Gear. Give him a look. He reviewed one of our Viper slides. Got to check out our shop. That's Break Faded. He has one of our slides. Looks like it's a Space War. Yeah, nice. Who's this? Oh, not ours. It's one of ours. Us. A lot of them are us. Oh, here's the gun guy doing his unboxing of the Pink Leonidas. Yep, RTT Guns and Gear. Good channel, good guy. Yeah, go check out the Gun Guy 77. Give him some likes and subs. Tell him you want to see that Pink Leonidas some more. Oh, this is one of ours, but it's from the Gun Guys. He's doing a, I believe it's a periwinkle. Yep, periwinkle flash. Nice. Oh man, did we really get in trouble for some of this stuff? So one of the ones that Facebook is still giving us shit for is wishing the Marine Corps a happy birthday back in November of 2024. They're still screwing with us over that. We offered them a military discount. Hey, thank you for your service. And YouTube is still harassing, or Facebook is still harassing us. Jack of all trades. We saw him over at Shot Show. Us. A lot of us. Oh, Poppy the Gun Guy. I need to do a live with him. He's asked before. I got to get on and find some time when he's on. He's got the Olight O sight on it, and if I recall, he did a drop test with it and a range test. And if I remember right, he was not happy with the Olight. Oh yeah, some of our old painting vids. Painting a Viper and Sig paint. So this is pre-spraying, getting in all of the nooks and crannies before we do the main spray. Oh, that's bullshit. Facebook is full of scumbags. I remember this one. Zero paint coming out is what the guy here is saying. But in pre-spraying, we don't want a lot of paint coming out. It's just to get the nooks and crannies before you do a main spray. Oh, I remember this. We were unboxing our Gideon optic. Vipers, zoom slides. Honestly, it's a great setup. Comes with the tools you need, optic, mounting plate. Gideon's got a quality product. Could have held that camera more steady. Palmetto State Armory dagger frame. One of our SM19 zooms. That one's one of our zooms, actually, not one of the ones we were selling. Yeah, they are. I need to get another Gideon optic. Something we're also going to take more to the range. Magazine Magic. Viper and FDE. Oh yeah, when we were doing poker chips for a minute. So some of you might not know this. Each slide has its own actual image. So on the back of that poker chip is the logo for the Leonidas, and so each slide has one: the Zoom, the Hellet, Viper, Flash, Leonidas, and even the Turbo. Each one has its own image that's associated with each slide, and it's usually of a dragon wrapping around the slide in some capacity. We thought about making more of them and just sending chips out. People would collect little poker chips or something. Wasn't super happy with the company we bought it from. It was definitely not the quality I wanted, but we were testing some things out, seeing like, okay, hey, what size do we want? How's it going to look? You got the granite carry? Oh, here we go. This one should be full spraying. Oh, right. The audio got removed on this one. Forgot about that. NDG training. This one ended up as a collab between multiple companies, and it wasn't it was a giveaway where the top three people who subbed to all the channels got the slide. They got an optic. They got stickers and a bunch of other stuff. So we supplied SM19 Zoom in NRA blue. We also did this another time for a cancer charity. We sent a black Leonidas to Jack of all trades, and we sent a green Mamba, I want to say Hellet, to the gun guys for a cancer charity. I'm not sure if I'd like a green dot over the red dot. Maybe. Oh, here's one from the Hub here in Arizona. They have multiple gun stores, one in Tucson, Mesa, and Lakeside. So they bought some of our Flash and Viper slides, if it loads. Hmm. Have to try a green dot someday. Free spray. Oh, here we go. NDG training again. Oh God, back when we had Linktree. So we got banned from Linktree too. Linktree is anti 2A. They will get rid of your page if they find out you're selling gun parts. So if you know businesses that are pro 2A, tell them not to set up with Linktree. They will just ban you. Oh yeah, Delta Adventure Gear. It was one of the first reviews. He bought one of our slides and did a review on it. Wonder what he's doing, if he's doing anything now. No, afraid not. That's unfortunate. And that was with our Cobalt Kinetics Green. We don't have that color anymore. This one here. I think it came out looking good. So if I remember right, he had issues fitting the vector optics in, and he had to modify it to get it to fit. Millie 556 NATO. He did a short one with our or our Leonidas in Space War. Oh, is it not posting anymore? It's not. Wonder why that happens. More than one ingestion or using the primary URL send one stream to error. Okay. Hmm. That's the error message I'm getting. There we go. See if that's working now. Jack of all trades. Ah, with the fake Bible. Fake Bibles and fake books as storage for guns has been around for quite a long time. Nothing new. Neat concept. They actually used to make fake books that stored alcohol in them. Oh yeah, one of our last battle warns. So as opposed to our space warn, this SN19 Flash was one of our last battle warns that we made. There were so many companies making battle warns, we just kind of stopped doing it. Still, I think it came out okay. What's that? Okay. Yeah, some companies charge more just for having a different color optic. Here is Magazine Magic with our flat dark Earth Viper. Oh, what's this now? Okay. Always getting emails and messages. You might be. Let's take a look. Just got Damian Christian and G23. Oh yeah, the zombie slide. So we're doing another one too. Yeah, let's pop off that. I wonder if we have it listed. Let's see. Have we listed it? So here is our zombie Viper. Let's go to all of our Vipers. Let's see if we did it. There's our Battleship Gray, Cow Camo, Shimmer Aluminum, Arctic White. Nope, I guess we haven't posted that one yet. Anyway, so it is a kind of like the zombie for our slide, but instead of the neon green mamba with the blood splatter, it is an Arctic white with the blood splatter. And we switched, I believe, on this one. We showed this one at Shot Show, and we had used red habanero, which has metallic flake to it, so it didn't quite match up. We switched that over to USMC red. I believe we did. What was that movie, American Psycho, where the guy takes the axe and everything's wrapped in plastic, and he just wham right down on the back of the dude's head? Maybe we should name a slide after that because it's just white with all the red blood splatter. I don't know if it has a name yet, but I have to talk with the team, see if we can name it. Honestly, that color matching is pretty good there. Slight downside to Cerakote is sometimes when you get like flat dark earth or burnt bronze, some batches are darker than others. So we had a burnt bronze that was like really burnt, and we also get some that are a little lighter too. But yeah, check out Magazine Magic if you get a time. We've collaborated a couple. He took one of our slides on a shooting competition, I do believe, as well as just did another for a build. Here's Poppy the Gun Guy. He did one in burnt bronze, I think it was. Maybe it was FDE. Jack of all trades did one of our last battle worn flashes. I remember that. He wanted us to do a slide in Coyote Tan or something similar. That reminds me, we had someone say they couldn't get our slide on their build in their holster, and it was one of those holsters that has an adjustable screw so that you can kind of adjust the holster to the size of your build. Kind of one size fits all type thing, and the retention screw or adjustment screw was too tight, and all they had to do was loosen it a bit, and the build fit in their holster just fine. I forget what brand that was, but they kept calling us and asking us, like, "Hey man, just show me a picture of your holster." And I was like, "Hey, just loosen up that screw right there and let me know if it works." And yep, done. Hey, G23, what? Like a sub to this guy. We should do another live. That'll have to happen sometime. Yeah, look at that slide. Yeah. Uh, oh, here he was with our gold helmet. Magazine magic. Shout out to anyone who can figure out what helmet means. Good historical aspect to it on uprisings and revolts. Oh, yep, magazine magic. I want to do a test on one of our slides sometime. Something rough, but the problem is, man, is it expensive and time consuming. Hey, let's go take a slide off the line, and let's go just drop 1,000 rounds through it in one afternoon, and let's throw it at stuff and drop it on stuff, whatever. Still want to do it sometime though. Center mass, nice. Looks like a sternum hit. Man, I want to have my own range someday. Nice. But like we were mentioning earlier, like you should be able to do that even without an optic or sights on. You should be able to have like that imaginary sight picture, right? And you should be able to make that happen. And that just requires some practice. I learned that crap. Like I saw that in practice. We had a drill sergeant back when I was in the army, and he showing us that someone's complaining. Well, it's my rifle. It's my rifle. Brand new private. And he's like, "Bull crap! It is." Picks up that weapon, and he's like, "See how this isn't sighted to me?" And he still hit that target at 200 meters. Oh, what do we got here? Hell yeah, coast to coast. 2A defenders. Somebody following us. Curse this phone update. Where was this? On Twitter? Okay. Okay. Just got some more followers on Twitter. Uh, Not so many followings there, but we still post there. It's always good to have additional. Oh yeah, he did a competition with one of our slides, I do believe. I believe it was the helmet that he did it with. But so yeah, it's always good to have when you are posting social media to have just a wide presence, even on platforms you might not necessarily like, just in case. Anything running with the Second Amendment, you're always risking getting banned or restricted. Headshot popped right in the neck. Oh goddamn, jugular. Ouch. Yeah, that chest height, that's a good drop. Yeah, because wouldn't that suck? You're in the middle of a situation, you trip over a curb or hit some debris, some rubble or something, you eat it, your weapon goes flying, pick it up, and all of a sudden your red dot doesn't work. Good cycle. It's a nice little range setup. I like the berm, good wooden beams. And I encourage this. If you get one of our slides and you want to freaking drop test it, and you want to, whatever, do it. Do it. You come up with a problem, man, you let us know. You want to run through a sticks lane and things get dirty and you want to run it, do it. Let us know how things went. I'm curious if it can handle shock. So if you take like a rubber hammer, mallet, and just tap it, they really like that berm setup. I'd love for us to get some land and put our machine shop on it. We can have our own range out back. Right through the teeth, through the nose. Yeah, we've got a range. We might end up going there just to one meet and greet people outside, see if people want to test our stuff. Um, but we took, and when I say we, I mean we had a couple of Army vets. We had a former guy. He worked with the sheriff's department, and all of us know how to shoot, right? And group of just ex-military, current military, and law enforcement. They're shooting, and there were some women in the group, and the range kept sending over, or maybe it was of their own volition. I don't know, but they kept sending someone over to talk to the women. Hey, come and join this female shooting thing. Um, we'll teach you how to shoot in a safe, friendly female environment. And some of the women that we had with us were just like, we're vets, or we're here with vets and like ex law enforcement. Like they can teach us just fine. Some of said vets and ex law enforcement were women. And it's like, okay, yeah, come over and offer people something, but they kept coming back over and over, and were interrupting, training that people were doing, interrupting weapons familiarization that people were doing, and it just got really annoying that they kept coming over, and they only specifically kept bothering the female shooters. One of the shooters who turned and said, she's like, I was in the Army for 10 years. Like, I know how to shoot. Thank you. Like, I appreciate the class, but like, I'm trying to shoot. Go away. And they did not get the hint and kept going back and forth to each female in our group. And we ended up ending the range day. It was just like, don't be wrong. Like, yeah, if you're a range and you've got a class or something, by all means, advertise it. Go talk to people about it. But like, read the room. Until the group really wasn't interested. 1911, 1911. Half empty. Heck yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We do have some indoor. There's actually an indoor range right near our shop. I should probably do like Well, we're trying to convince them to buy some of our slides, or at least like maybe do on consignment or something. Some of our slides in their shop. DLD after dark. We'll see what happens, but we do go there because they're like right near the shop. It's really great to be able to go over there. Hey, Delta Team Tactical. It's really convenient. It does suck to constantly spend shop fees and stuff, you know, but they do. They have been nice to give us a discount since we go frequently enough. We're nearby. Aw. Yeah, that's a great response. We should have said that. Always interested in free training. Hey, all Glock clones, welcome. They finally hit 100 or 1,000 members. Good for them. Fun group, pretty inclusive. Nobody's really ragging on each other. That's what we want. We want people to be able to go to places and talk about guns and ask questions. A lot of garbage. What else we got going on? What's going on in Glock clones? Welcome. Oh wait, it's Sunday, so it's all gun Sunday. So people are posting anything they want. Sunday gun day. Hey, some of our stuff's on Davidson Defense now too. Awesome. There is another Stiffler manufacturing out there, but it's Stiffler's manufacturing, and they do like auto parts or something. Yep. So this is kind of funny. Well, they do CNC and laser cutting, but there is another Stifflers out there, not to be confused with Stiffler, or to be confused with American Pie, which only has one F. Nope, Stifler manufacturing on Reddit, eBay, Stiflers, Facebook, MMC Armory. Right on. Apple Pie. It was a fun movie. This one time at band camp. Oh yeah, I know he has some of our stuff. Yep. Yep. Flash with the G Flex. The Gun Guys. I know they did something with a few of ours. Oh yeah, here we go. A Periwinkle Flash. Still love that blue. The flashes are getting hard to find just because we have went on hiatus with them for the 17s. But there's at least one eBay page I know that sells them, and Delta Team Tactical still has a few of them. So if any of you actually want a flash slide, I still know a few people who have them. Hey, Poppy the Gun Guy, what's going on? Yep, he has some of our slides too. Showed some of the videos earlier. See if Red Dawn's posted it yet. I don't think he has yet. I think he's waiting to do a range test. Sig 312, that was a month ago. Oh, just trying to get some live hours in, going over some channels who got our stuff, talking about a few things. We are working on our next 17 slide. And after that, we've got a third 17 slide. And I think after that, we're doing the Glock 43. Got a sale coming up for 4th of July. Still trying to play catch up with some of our collabs after we got this 17 handled. Had to take care of some slides and some builds first. Yep, Red Dawn's got some crazy stuff. RTT Guns and Gear. Oh man, our old shop when Wick Actual visited it. Jeez. Back when we were in Florida. Yeah, I gotta do a collection video or something. Yeah, this video's got some fun background stuff in it. Yup. Bar stock. We don't use blanks. Open another. We already had one shop in Florida. The funny thing is, well, that's another story. But the shop we were next to in Florida is now in Arizona too. So funny how things follow you. Yep. You know, you might have been there for that conversation, G23. We talked about, where is it? Oh yeah, the Flash. Where we talked about the Flash being copied, and we talked about the Leonidas being copied, and we talked about the similarities on the Viper in one of the lives that we were on, and a lot of that stemmed from our time in Florida. And some of it's followed us to Arizona, but we're doing other stuff. Got our turbo slide now. We're really good on the Viper, and we maybe got even a new design in the works. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that East Coast West Coast is. I thought that was going to be something that we might do with another company. Uh, where we set back up in Arizona and they set up in Florida, and we just kind of been like, okay, hey, your business is over here. You're gonna be buying from these guys, and it was a thing. It was a thing that we thought might happen. And life has a way. Life has a way of challenging you. I think DLD would say, God has a plan. So, but yeah, life has a way of challenging you on things. DOJ to ask for frame cases. Oh, right, right. Orange Smoke. Man, who else are we talking? BT2 Tactical. I think he has some of our slides. Let's see. We scroll on through. There it is. He's got a flash. Poppy, we've got to do a live with you sometime, man. We just got to get that schedule worked out at some point when I'm not stupid tired. I got to get some more slides available. These ones need to get rotated out, but we've been selling everything we've been producing, so I don't have anything to bring extra. And these have all either been fired or tested, so we're not selling them. I got to get some more. I got to get some more slides for content. I think he has a Viper too. Could have sworn he had one of the other ones. Nope. 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 Flash. Could have sworn he had a second slide. Flash. Flash. Maybe he just had two different color flashes. I don't remember. Oh well. That's okay. Hmm. What was this one for? I think this was before we went to SHOT Show. Yeah, look at all those colors. Yep. That might be it. We might. So I think some of it was on Rumble too. That might be it. We were able to find a few other people with some of our slides because they bought the slides through some of the vendors, like Delta Team Tactical, Rando Wayne. He got his slide from Delta. This guy here, D Bonds, he got one of the old Crimson because now everything's USMC red and red habanero. But he put it on a G26 slide, and you can tell he needs the adapter. Well, he doesn't need the adapter. The adapter just makes it look better and prevents any debris from getting into the RSA. Oop, did the wrong one. Hey, Ginger Parent's back. Welcome. This is probably my longest live, where I'm just trying to get some live time in. Oh yeah, Jeff. I forgot he made one with this. One of our Vipers. Yeah, give him a subscribe. I like going through and seeing. Sometimes people don't even know they have a Stiffler slide, and I like going through and seeing what they've posted about, what their comments are. Some people they don't even they just don't like the color, like someone's gotten. Otherwise, they actually like the slide. which I think is kind of funny because it's such a arbitrary. People like what they like, you know. 7 years ago, no, that's not one of ours. 11 months ago. Huh. God damn, man. You know what I need to do is I forget which guy did it, but they did an overnight live stream where their camera was just on their guns, and I should do something like that. I should put like one of the slides on like a turntable or something, and just let it go. Just let it go for hours. There we go. Got a 19 on a 26. But what they need, go and turn it, turn it. Come on. There it is. They need to consider picking up an adapter so they can cover that front section of the recoil spring assembly. So no debris. One, it's an aesthetic thing, but not a sponsor. But yeah, it's just to help keep debris out of there. I love seeing our slides are showing up. Whose is this? Is this one of ours? Oh, there it goes. Finally. Okay. Nope, not one of ours. Sad. Oh, what's this? 8 months ago, not one of ours. I don't know if I'd let him watch me sleep. Scroll in. Oh, yep, Ghost. He's done some of ours. That's fairly recent. He got a burnt bronze Viper. Oh, getting stiff. Ha, getting stiff. Go fast, guys. Nope, not one of ours. I like the way it looks. That SCT frame does justice to the Viper slide. Brando Wayne, he was on earlier. Yeah, if you guys got any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm just scrolling through stuff, getting some live hours, seeing who might have one of our slides. Maybe we'll comment. Oh, what now? Nope, nope, not one of ours. It is Delta, but it's not one of ours. Hmm. 3 years ago, yep, not one of ours. Ah, a Leo Precision slide. That looks like, yep, that's a Leo Precision. That is a Symmetry. Probably one of their better ones. That was a lot of watch hours, man. That is insane how you got that done. I know I popped in for a few of them. Optics Planet. I've reached out to them in the past. Maybe I should reach out to them again, see if they're willing this time around. Sometimes it's kind of funny when you've reached out to a business, and I get it. We were new, very new. No one really knew who we were, and then you reach out to what the hell? Oh, it's airsoft. Okay, I don't care. You reach out and it's a no, and then you start getting a little bit of popularity, a little bit of name recognition, and all of a sudden they reach back out to you. It's kind of funny. There were a few just like, hey, let us send you one for free. Check it out, test it, do what you want to do to it, and maybe then afterwards we can come to an agreement on sales and stuff. And for that, that first 6 months to a year, couldn't even get in the door in a lot of places. Not even a free product. Just like, hey, you can keep it when you're done. Just test it, do what you want. Did not work. We're doing okay now though. We almost came to something with the 80, unfortunately, before all that sad business went down. Talked to them for a brief amount of time, met each other on Facebook, just chatting it up, and sadly things went the way they did. Might have been a whole different thing otherwise. But we got our distributors and some of our vendors. Got a shop up in Lakeside, Mesa, Tucson with a hub, and then with Serious Arms, they have one up in Prescott. They're selling a couple of our slides. We had something with East Coast Cerakote for a little bit, but I think they switched over to, I forget where they got a bunch of other slides from. But it was cheaper than we were able to do at the time, so I don't blame them for it. It's like everyone's got to have a profit margin. You know what I want to look up is Rock Slide USA. And I know RTT Guns and Gear, and I know G23 will. Oh, hey, here's G23. I know they will not say great things, and from some of the ones I've seen, I've never owned one. I would let someone trade us theirs if theirs is messed up and we can help them or whatever. They just don't like it. I would trade them to get them back to the range. Then we can go do our own testing and whatnot. Yeah, it was this model. This one right here. That's the one we saw that was cracked. Well, we got more ice raids going on. Yeah, we'll keep that going for a bit. Nice. What's that? Yeah. We don't say fuck ice in Arizona. It's too damn hot. Yeah. What's going on here? Sorry. I wouldn't do that. Oh, sorry guys, stepped away for a little bit there. Had to go take care of something. Some wild stuff going on in LA and a few other cities. All right, we are at just over 3 hours, so that's where I'm going to call it today. We'll pop back on some other times throughout the week. But for those of you that might have just popped in, Stiffler Manufacturing, we turn steel bars into gun slides. Thank you, and as always, stay 2 every day. 2A every day.